Hello and welcome to Valheim. Today we have so last episode we beat the last boss uncleanly, I guess. We did die. But I wanted to kind of throw together some final thoughts because this game is early access and I've put quite a few hours into the game. So yeah, let's go ahead and put the head on here. There we go. And oh yeah, a save right as I do that and lags it out. Ruined it. His head gives us resistance versus magic and lightning damage. So fire, frost, and lightning. So that's kind of cool. I'm guessing a later boss will have that kind of thing. But I wanted to talk about things that I think they should change or improve in this game. My first complaint would be iron. So iron is the swamp tier. That is you go from meadow to black forest to swamp to mountain to plains, and then that's it for right now. Iron should be in the mountains. Iron should be in the swamp, and there should be some kind of iron. I would say in the Black Forest, maybe in the plains, like nodes of it in the plains or something like that, because you use iron throughout everything, and having to go back to a swamp and go it's almost a little bit annoying because you one shot all the I'm one shotting it with the this loadout right here, everything I encounter in the crypts, and it's just tedious. So I think they should move iron to like a global, maybe except the meadows. I would also like to see, this is probably controversial based on the Reddit. I would like to see the ignits be teleportable. So after you've smelted everything down and you turn it into an ignit, I would like to see that teleportable. You can leave the ore non-teleportable, but I don't know. Going from, my base right here to here, it's like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And there's zero risk for me anyway. Going from here to here, I've only been attacked by 2 sea serpents my entire playthrough. And I think there might have been a third, but I was going so fast in my boat that it didn't even matter. So I just drove past him, and he didn't even have an opportunity to do anything. So I just feel like it's just a tedium it doesn't really add anything to the game after you've done it once. Like the first time I took ore from I think it was this swamp right here to here, that was a little bit of an adventure, and I had to terraform this river just a little bit to be able to get through it with my boats. But after that, I haven't had any issues before after that, so it's just what it is there. I also feel like the game is balanced for multiplayer and not single player. The weight on some items is just weird. This axe is 2, this sword is 0.8, this is 2, 5, and then the other armor was 15, this one's only 10, so it varies. And then you get into the materials. 1 piece of wood is 2. I just feel like 1 piece of wood should probably be 1. I don't know. It just feels like that it's balanced for that and not for single player. I believe the game should add a paper doll. I don't know if you've played any kind of role-playing game. It's a paper doll is the UI screen where you can see your character, and you can drag and drop the armor onto that character, taking it out of your inventory. Well, it's a novel idea, and it feels like they're using this one Unity add-on for inventory. This control, the UI for the inventory, feels very reminiscent of a very specific asset you can buy in the Unity store. So I just feel like they should move all the inventory to its own UI and save, you know, these inventory spots. I just feel like you have to lug around all these arrows, all this, and you really only, at the end of the day, it's like one row of stuff to carry stuff back. And then on top of that, a lot of the stuff is just really lightweight or really heavy, and it's kind of adds a tedium that shouldn't really exist. Let's see. And this one, so here, let's go back to my base, and I can kind of show this one better. On the the smelter and the, what is it, the high-level smelter, I think it's called the blast furnace. I think that's what it's called. You can only put 10 items in at a time, and it's kind of annoying. Like, so, like, you know, I'm here, I put, you know, my 10 items in the smelter, and then I get on my boat, or I use the teleporter and I go there, grab the stuff, and get on my boat and drive back. You know, that's like 30 minutes, and then my base is doing nothing during that time, because there is no, there's just 10 items, and then it's done. I wish there was some kind of way to just put more items in. At first I was thinking a chest. You put a chest like attached to this, and you can just fill it up with stuff, and it would all cycle through. But then I saw this one over here, the spinning wheel lets you put up to 40 in it, and then the windmill. We didn't really cover those in any of the playthrough, but you put 50 in there. And I think there should be like a second tier smelter, and maybe this blast furnace should also be able to accept iron and everything else. It only accepts, as far as I know, this green metal stuff. If there's anything else, I haven't done it because I haven't the need. But I should be able to put more than, you know, just a few things in there, so that I can have this going while I'm out getting more stuff. So that would be great, because I'm bringing back a whole long ship full of goods, everything. It's all iron, because you can teleport everything else, or not iron, but ore, because everything else is teleportable. So I'm only bringing back. There's my little boat. I think the other one's out there somewhere. And it's a full. I think it's a full inventory about that size that you get on the boat, give or take. So I mean, that many stacks of material. And now I don't need any material now because I've done everything, but it's just like that. And then another thing I'd like to see is stamina regeneration food. Like there's a drink you can get. Let me see if I have it over here. Where's the cooking thing? I don't know. Maybe I didn't make one. Yeah, this one right here. This one will do. Can't see the stats on it. It takes away health regen, 50% health regen for 300% stamina regen. I never used it because I needed the health regen, but I would like to see a food that adds stamina per tick. As in the sense these give HP per tick. I mean, we're getting 4 each. I would like to see one so you could kind of balance that where I can get more stamina. I feel like stamina is my biggest concern right now with the game. I would also like to see a high tier spear. Right now, I think the highest tier spear I can get is the ancient bark spear, which only does 55 damage, and it's an iron swamp tier weapon. There might be another one I haven't unlocked yet, but I don't see it. Early on, I really liked using the spear. I haven't tried out this 2-ender yet. I really liked using the spear versus anything else until I got the bronze mace, and the spear just seems like it should be something that should be added to the high end. See here, swimming is horrible. Most of the time you're almost gonna drown, and I would like to see swimming get an upgrade, so I can get in the water and I can remove these rocks and stuff. Like I could dive down and maybe break a rock, maybe, or I don't know what would be needed, but terraforming the water to make a good boat dock would be something very useful. Like, it took me forever to do this right here, because I kept, every time you get underwater, your weapon goes out of your inventory and stuff like that. And it's just really tedious. It's just really tedious to do that. And I would like to see terraforming upgrades. Right now you can use the hoe to do any kind of upgrades, and that's to raise the terrain and level terrain. I would like to see it use less stamina to use in the first place, because I mean, what's the point of it taking all your stamina that fast? It just seems unnecessary. And another save lag. And then the raising terrain, I can see how it costs stone, but the cost seems a little high. Because you don't get 5 stone, or is it 5 or 6 stone? Where's the hoe at? It's like 5 or 6 stone. You don't even get that for breaking a node of anything. So it's, I don't even know where it's at. So I feel like that whole system should be upgraded in some way. I would like to also see the boss loot a little bit more meaningful. Almost like a Terraria type boss loot, where I can farm this guy more than once to get something that I could use later on. Like, for example, I killed the deer guy once, and I got one antler, or I got a few antlers, but I only used one the entire playthrough. To make the first pickaxe, and then I killed, what's the second guy, the elder guy? Yeah, right here. This guy, I think he dropped the swamp key, which there's no reason to repeat any of these bosses, and I would like to see something like that implemented, where killing the bosses more than once was meaningful, I guess. I don't know. Maybe there's a story reason why they're not, and I missed it. Like bone mass drops the wishbone, which lets you mine stuff in the mountains, and then the dragon boss is the only one who drops anything that you can use to craft anything with, besides the deer guy, and I only needed one to do the artisan table once. It's just weird. All these other artisan table creations have the glowy stuff, like they're using the dragon egg or whatever it was, dragon tears, but you don't need them for the crafting recipe, and that would be kind of cool to me. If you kill the dragon and you have to use those to craft the next tier of buildings and stuff like that, and I think that would make everything a little bit more cohesive. I mean, I know there's a biome up here, an unfinished ice biome, and then down here is like an unfinished ash biome or something like that. I looked up my map, or my UI on the map and stuff like that. I mean, the seed on a map generator after I beat it, to see what was going out there. And there's another biome called Mistlands, I think. I think I saw one of those around here when I was driving my boat around. Maybe it was up here. And that looked like an unfinished biome also. So I know there's more to come, but to me that just seems like some things they could add to make the game funner. And to touch on the ore teleporting thing, I would like to see this could be the first tier teleporter, and maybe you need a second tier teleporter to do the ignits or something like that. That requires a more, I mean, you can farm these the cores required for these things like infinitely. There's videos on YouTube about just if you break the ground under the fire geysers or whatever it is, you can just sit there and they'll spawn and die. And that, that to me that's broken. But killing them takes one hit at swamp level gear. So there should be a second tier that requires more stuff and that lets you maybe take that stuff through, just to save the tedium of the boat stuff. I mean, maybe if you're on a multiplayer server, not playing it as a single player game, then that would kind of you have that risk of going from here to here and being attacked by a player maybe. But I don't ever play any of these kind of games multiplayer just because the toxicity of the games, like, and that's, you know, I don't know if that's a thing for this game or not, but it is what it is. But those are my final thoughts. I don't even know how many hours I have in this game. All right, I just looked. I have 103 hours in Valheim at this point, so that's a good amount, I guess. You know, most of the time was spent farming. Anything of any kind of interest was done on video, and I think there is 15 or 16, maybe 17 videos that I did. I don't have the final, all of them edited yet, so I don't know where that lines up. And each video is like 20 to 30 minutes, if that. So the amount of content there is to do that's new versus the amount of exploration plus farming iron and farming silver is significantly less. So I mean, it's like if you take out the grinding, it's an 8-hour game, if that. So my first impression was, you know, it was kind of janky, and it took me a while to get used to the game before I didn't feel like it was janky anymore, but it is what it is at this point. So that's it. That's my final thoughts. So thank you for watching, and have a great day.